You might be wondering what this is. It's a field cultivator shank assembly. So you know those wide things they have, they pull behind tractors in the spring, and they have all those little pieces of metal that go down and it stirs up the ground. This is a part off of that. So this is what actually goes into the ground. And did you know that there's one of these about there's one of these pieces spread over about 60 acres every year. So what are the parts of this? Starting from the bottom up, you have your suite. This goes into the ground, and then the dirt comes up and it goes like that, and it flips it over. You got the bolts that hold it on. You have this main shank here, and then it comes up. There's this bracket here that holds onto the shank and holds the bottom part of this trip spring. This spring is made to give away if there's a rock or something in the field, so that this doesn't crack or bend. There's a bushing just like this one right into this piece here, right behind this bolt. Then there's this bracket comes over the top, and that clamps onto like a piece of 3 by 4 inch tubing and clamps around there to hold it on. Then you got a spring, then you got this bracket that comes over the top of the spring, and then there's a bolt right in there. Now, this is like a common wear part on these pieces. So as you can see, this one's worn down quite a bit. A lot of times you're gonna have, when you go to change them, you're gonna have a lot of dirt built up underneath here. Like right under here, you're gonna have a lot of dirt, and that gets in the way of the socket and the nut and stuff. So what I like to do is like to take a hammer, and I just wanna tap on there, and that'll break all that dirt loose, and it'll all fall down, getting it out of your way. Then after that, you're just gonna wanna take these nuts right off. And then as they're coming off, this piece likes to come up, and there's a square on there that holds it into there. So you just want to hold that down as you take it off. I'm using an 11/16 socket or 3/8 drive ratchet wrench for this. There's 2 bolts, so you're just going to take those right off. And sometimes they'll get stuck on there. This one's not too bad, but if they do get stuck on there, you just want to hit right there pretty good, and then it'll pop it off. So after you get this piece off, you don't want to reuse those bolts or anything because they're typically worn down pretty good. And then you just throw those in the scrap bin. You're going to put your new bolts in your new shovel, just like that. And then you're going to come back on here. Set them right on, grab your nuts, push it down, and bring them back up. And once you get them up there, just gonna tighten it down. It's important that you get them tight so it doesn't fall off. Just gonna get them nice and snug. Normally I'd use an impact for this, but it's pretty loud. So now that you got this piece changed out, there's a lot more parts than just that. So once you get that changed, you're gonna want to grab. All them bolts are just a 3/4 inch socket, so you can grab a 3/4. You're gonna want to go off this bolt here. Just gotta make sure that's tight. Then make sure the shank is held on to this bracket here. Then there's another bolt right here. You're gonna make sure that's tight. You might need another wrench. It's a 3/4 inch socket, and crescent wrench will do. Just gonna make sure that's good and tight. This bolt is also where that bushing is, back up there. There's a bushing in there. This one's not too bad. You're just going to make sure that's good. These parts tend to wear out pretty good, so with all the vibrating and stuff that's going on, the bolt will wear against the metal and it'll crack out and stuff. You got this bolt up here. Just gotta make sure that's tight on there. This one is. You go back to the spring and make sure that's tight. So if it's loose, it won't go into the ground. It won't do very much. So that's most of the bolts and everything. This is my main, I pull this implement in the spring with my tractor, so it's my main job to make sure that's going and that's ready to go. So you just got to make sure everything's ready. It should be good to go as long as your tractor's ready and your field is ready to go. So I hope that this teaches you guys like what parts are and what to do with these things. You probably don't have one, but if you don't, you could probably talk to a local farmer. They'll be more than happy to let you help them change their digger shovels. Thank you for listening to my speech.